Get ready for the ultimate car showdown, where NFL money meets horsepower. If you thought all the players in the league drive Lambos, then you're in for a surprise. Join me as we check out the craziest cars these athletes own. We're about to go from $2 beaters to cars that will cost more than your house. Hit that like and subscribe button, and let's begin. Okay, so Alfred Morris, former NFL running back, humble beginnings to an entirely new level. He's playing in the NFL, making millions of dollars, and then thinks, nah, I'm good. I'm gonna keep my 1991 Mazda 626. But wait for it, he bought it for $2. That's it, you heard it right, at $2. It's like the price of a soda, not even a fancy one, just a regular. But Morris loved that car. Heck, he named the car Bentley. And if you're thinking, a $2 car? How in the world does it even run? Well, the truth is, it's one of those miracles that stayed on the road. I mean, the thing was held together with duct tape and good vibes, but Alfred kept it around because it reminded him of his humble roots. Plus, it paid off. Just think about pulling up to the NFL practice in that thing, while everyone else is in Lambos and Ferraris, and you're rolling up in a car that may not even be worth the gas in its tank. What's more, however, Morris even had the car completely refurbished by the time he was raking in the big dough. He did not upgrade to a flashy ride, he just wanted to keep his faithful old 626 running nicely. Up next is Chad Johnson, aka Ocho Cinco. Now, if you know Chad, you know he's not exactly the quiet type. This man once changed his last name to his jersey number, so naturally you'd expect him to be rolling in something flashy, right? Wrong. While other NFL stars were out here with Bugattis, Chad decided to roll around in a Toyota Prius. Yeah, you know, the car from all those Save the Environment commercials. That's the one. It was all frugality with Ocho Cinco. He sure wasn't going to spend $1 million in a car just to be seen around. He at one point even tweeted, "Why would I need to buy a Ferrari when I have a Prius?" Honestly, that kind of logic? That'd make your financial advisor cry tears of joy. That is to say, he is an anti-NFL stereotype, rolling into practice in a car that looks like it just left the Whole Foods parking lot. Now, for the record, a Prius isn't exactly a hunk that comes out of the junkyard. In NFL terms, it might as well be though. And everyone else burns off gas quicker than they burn off their rookie contracts. Chad is trying to save the planet and his wallet. Okay, so let's take it a step further into the $50,000 to $100,000 range. You know, those cars that are nice, but aren't gonna make your bank account nervous. First off, we have none other than Russell Wilson, aka Mr. Unlimited. So you might think with that nickname he's going to be driving some wild contraption. Nope, Russell keeps it simple with a Ford F-150. That is a big star in the NFL riding around in a pickup truck. Fairly honest, he's a grinder and loves to hustle, and let's be real, if you can get through his Instagram, he's constantly outdoors. So this is a car for somebody who probably has 10 different sorts of flannel shirts and knows how to navigate the box. His F-150 isn't flashy, it's tough. It's the kind of car you trust to get you through a blizzard, or maybe just get you through Seattle traffic. A true workhorse, just like Russell on game day. And while everybody else is out there with supercars that can barely make it over a speed bump, Russell's over here hauling gear and probably towing a boat for a weekend fishing trip. Classic. And then there's Rob Gronkowski. Now, Gronk is literally a human wrecking ball, so it barely comes as any surprise that his ride is just as rugged as he is. Gronk runs a Jeep Wrangler, which, let's be honest, is the perfect Gronk car. If there's one person who embodies adventure, it is Gronk. I mean, the guy literally retired, threw a huge party, came back to the NFL, won another Super Bowl, and then retired again. I mean, that's peak Gronk energy. And his Wrangler? It's not your typical drop the kids off at soccer practice Jeep. It looks like a survival show. You're going to find Gronk camping out in the woods, eating raw protein powder out of the tub. It's tough, like Gronk, and doesn't intend to screw around. It's made for mountain trails and beaches, or carrying Gronk's protein shake collection, or whatever it wants. Any way you cut it, it represents what's going on here. A vehicle that is almost perfectly aligned with Gronk's identity, meaning it's not about being fancy, it's about having fun and being a total beast, on or off the road. Now, things get hot, but even with luxury, NFL players still have a way of doing it their own way. First of all, there is one man, and only one, Tom Brady, Mr. 7 Rings himself. And you would think that the NFL's GOAT would come in with some legendary vehicle, and boy do it deliver. The guy owns a Rolls-Royce Ghost, which ranges casually from $300,000, but that's pocket change for Brady, right? In short, the Rolls-Royce Ghost is what you buy if you want people to know you're classy and rich, but don't necessarily wish to be loud about it. The Ghost is sleek, sophisticated, and says in a British accent, "I have my life in order." But can you envision this? You're sitting there in your car, going to work, looking over, and there is Tom Brady sipping his green juice, cruising around in this cloud of leather and luxury. Why is this guy driving in a Rolls Royce and not flying around in a jet or something, you're thinking? And that's Tom for you. Somewhat grounded, if you will. If you're gonna win 7 Super Bowls, you might as well drive like it. Next, there is Odell Beckham Jr. He's a real flasher on and off the field. Odell rose in his Rolls-Royce Cullinan, which is basically an SUV of a royal carriage. This beast costs somewhere in the ballpark of $350,000 and looks like it can survive an apocalypse, but in the most luxurious way possible. Now, you gotta admire Odell's swag here. This is no ordinary Cullinan, oh no, he had it personalized with his own logo in place of the iconic Spirit of Ecstasy hood ornament. That's right, OBJ put his face where the Rolls-Royce Angel would normally go. Like, imagine having this much swag, and you substitute one of the most recognizable symbols around the world with, well, you. It's all kinds of flexing. And let's be real about this. It's not just any car. This is a rolling mansion. Inside of a Rolls-Royce Cullinan, it's looking more like a 5-star hotel than something to get you from point A to point B. Everything is leather, everything is shiny, and you could probably live in it if you really wanted to. Odell isn't getting somewhere, he's gliding, probably through a playlist full of all of his own highlight reels. And honestly, I respect that energy. Next, we have Jalen Ramsey. Now, Jalen is one of the best cornerbacks in the league today. And yeah, he ain't shy about his confidence on or off the field. So of course he's got something that's a little bit of both, the Lamborghini Urus. This thing is an SUV, but it's far from your average soccer mom vehicle. Like, oh my god, the Urus is a $200,000 super SUV that'll go from 0 to 60 in 3.6 seconds. Like, who even needs that? Well, apparently Jalen does. That Lambo Urus would be best for the individual who would shout, "I have taste, but I'm still fast." It's as if a Lamborghini had some kind of monster truck baby. And knowing Jalen, he probably speeds around this thing as if it were a Ferrari, only with more legroom and storage for his gym bag. Or maybe his ego, who knows. But if you're going to trash talk some of the best receivers in the league, you might as well roll up in a ride that screams, "I'm winning already" before the game begins. Okay, we're talking about the big leagues, and I'm starting to think that the vehicle just purchased is a spaceship. Next on the list is Patrick Mahomes. This man is literally a walking highlight reel. So what does a guy who makes $40 million per year drive around? A Ferrari 812 Superfast. Duh. Now, this isn't no Ferrari. This is a $330,000 supercar really capable of accelerating to 60 miles per hour in less than 3 seconds. I mean, it's called Superfast for a reason, obviously. You know when you're in a Ferrari and all the people see is just a blur that whizzes by? Yeah, this is Mahomes' daily life. Imagine that guy coming off a 400-yard, 5-touchdown game, and he's just cruising around Kansas City in a car that could probably beat half the city in a race. He's basically running a car that is fast like Mahomes is on the field. And honestly, with the amount of money he's making these days, this Ferrari is probably his entry car. I wouldn't be surprised if that garage somewhere has a Batmobile in it as well. Next up, we have Aaron Rodgers, the Green Bay Packers legend, and part-time philosopher apparently, who owns one of the most insane cars ever made, the Mercedes-Benz Maybach Exelero. Now, I know you might not know what that ride is, but let me break it down for you. The car costs a jaw-dropping $8 million. I mean, at this point, are we even having a car discussion? Or maybe that's just a yacht on wheels. Who knows? The Maybach Exelero is basically a unicorn in the car world. It's so customized and it's so absurdly luxurious, there are only a few of them in existence. It's like saying, I've conquered the NFL, now I'm here to conquer everything else. Rare, almost like Rodgers' Hail Marys touchdowns, and just as legendary, and then you have this interior thing. The seats are probably softer than the couch in your living room, and you could probably hold a business meeting in this car and walk away with a signed contract and a glass of champagne. It's that kind of vibe. So when Rodgers isn't throwing crazy balls out there, he's cruising around in this ultimate bossmobile. And now we have the creme of the crop, Antonio Brown and his Bugatti Chiron, which costs north of $3 million. Now AB has had his ups and downs on and off the field, but one thing's for sure, the man knows how to live large. The Bugatti Chiron is one of the fastest cars in the world. It's a 1500 horsepower beast that can hit speeds of over 260 miles per hour. The thing's a work of art, with every detail painstakingly crafted to be both beautiful and terrifying. And if you think that AB is now here showing off his Bugatti every chance he gets, then you clearly don't know AB. He is one of those players who maybe wear a coordinated car suit and drives like he's faking out defenders on the football field. They are the kind of cars that sit in garages more often than on the road, and when they do, you better believe people stop and stare. Yup, he's back again. Tom Brady isn't satisfied with a mere Rolls Royce. Good heavens, the man also has a Bugatti Veyron Supersport, worth a mind-blowing $3 million. The thing is basically the Ferrari's Ferrari, the height of what a car can be. It can go 267 miles per hour, which, by the way, is how fast Brady seems to win Super Bowls. The Bugatti Veyron is for the ultimate ballers, people who don't just play the game, but own it. It's almost like Brady is saying, I could buy a yacht, but why float when you can fly? This car is practically an F1 racer with doors. And the last person on our list is Lamar Jackson. Now, if you're the fastest man on the field, you gotta drive something that's a good match for you, don't you? Well, check out the Lamborghini Aventador, a $500,000 ride that can only be described as a movie set exotic. This car shouts speed rather than screams it. It whispers danger, all sharp lines, and the growl of a V12 engine. The Aventador goes 217. It can go from 0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds. I mean, that's faster than Lamar's 40-year dash, which is honestly saying something. The name literally means to charge, and that's exactly what Lamar does, both on the field and off. You can picture him pulling up to practice in this thing and everyone just nodding like, yep, that's about right. And the best part? He had it wrapped in matte black. I mean, the man's not playing around. Who knew NFL players had such crazy taste in cars, right? If you enjoyed the ride, then go ahead and give this video a like. If you want more mind-blowing videos, hit that subscribe button. You won't regret it. Ever wonder what kind of rides your favorite streamers are cruising in? Check out this video to see the epic cars these gamers own.